Hello YouTube friends. So it's been a really windy week at the small holding this past week. I've still been waiting for the rain. It looks like it's coming. The comfrey's in bloom and the bees are really enjoying it. I've been picking daisies before the rain so that I can make daisy syrup. I love these beautiful little flowers. In other news, my feeble attempts to control the bracken have not been successful. It's grown back with just as much vigour and it's swamped the little trees that are planted amongst it. So I think a big portion of my summer is going to be spent cutting this down over and over and over again. Oh. I need to sort out this area behind me here. So you might remember when I sorted the polytunnel out, oh God, it was weeks ago now. And there was a lot of rubbish in there, so the rotten sides of the raised beds and other stuff. Oh God, it's so windy. I hope the wind noise. I've bought this new muff for my phone to stop the wind noise and it doesn't completely block it out. So I'm hoping that it's not too irritating. Anyway, I left all the stuff here with the intention of later that day or the next day sorting it out, and it just didn't happen. So now I need to do it. It's going to rain today and I don't want to be trying to put rotten wood into my car to take it to the recycling centre when it's soaking wet. So yeah, I want to move it now because I'm also thinking that all the grass under there is probably dead by now. So I want to give it a chance to regrow when the rain hits. The previous owner of this house, who initially set up the polytunnel, used chipboard for the sides of the raised bed. So while I'm doing this, I just cannot get over the thought process of using something like glued together particles of wood that's suitable only for internal use as sides of a raised bed. I just don't understand it. This is the last barrow load. I'm going to pop this in the car. I'm going to go to the recycling centre and I'll talk to you when I get back, as long as it hasn't started raining. Okay, I am back. It hasn't started raining yet, although there have been some spitting threats of rain, but nothing. I'm really worried because we're forecast for nearly a week of rain, but it seems to be getting the amount of rainfall that it says is going to happen and the time that it happens seems to just be decreasing. So for example, it was supposed to start on Friday, it didn't. Then it was supposed to start today, it hasn't yet. We did get a little smattering yesterday evening, I have to say, but you know, all the pots that are outside my greenhouse are still bone dry, so it didn't even tickle the surface of the compost on the pots, you know. And yeah, so I was looking, and today it was supposed to, when I checked in the middle of the week, it was supposed to have about 6 to 8 millimetres of rain today. And when I checked this morning, and it said there might be 3. I just really wanted a soggy small holding. It's not happening. I tell you what, last year, I never thought that I would be hoping for rain. I just thought, this is it, I'm doomed. The rest of my life, it's never going to stop raining. We're never going to have a summer ever. Anyway, okay, so I need to sort out this wheelbarrow. It's turned into a lagoon. It's disgusting. It's my own stupid fault, you know. If you put vegetable, like plant material, into a wheelbarrow, you're supposed to empty it straight away. You're not supposed to leave it there to turn into a soupy mess, because it must have rained. Well, it has rained. It was, like I said before, weeks ago, and it's rained. The rain has been sitting in there. All the vegetative matter is sitting in there and starting to break down, and it's stinking, and I've just been putting off doing anything with it, because the thing is, the compost heap's over there and I can't just tip it in there. I'll have to use a fork or something to actually scoop it out, because I have to put it over, because the compost heap is nearly full. Maybe I should start a new compost heap. Oh, Samina, why have you done this to yourself? I don't know. I should get on with it, shouldn't I? Stop wasting time, bite the bullet, get it done. Come on, Samina. My pep talk's not working. It's not working. I'm thinking though, now that I've moved all of those woods, I need to make like a natural log pile somewhere with non-treated wood, because there was a toad sheltering underneath that wood, and obviously if that's what they're like, I must provide. Anyway, okay. Wish me luck with this. I'm worried about getting some of that goop on me and then stinking for the rest of the day. Come on, no, come on. Oh, pull your socks up. Come on, be a woman. Right, okay, turning the video off. Okay, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. When I was pouring out the water at the end, there was a small black beetle. I could tell by the way, beetle-ish thing. I could tell by the way it was moving that it lived in water. Not, it wasn't, like a land beetle. So I put it in there's a tiny children's little, very small, those little paddling pool things. It was here when we moved in. I'm guessing the guy had it for giving fresh water to his geese or something. Anyway, it's got water in it and it's full of weeds and grasses and stuff like that. But I saw a frog in there, like a little frog. It really is amazing that, the smallest water body, and nature uses it, it's phenomenal. So anyway, yeah, I put the little beetle thing in there. I saw this little frog, getting a bit worried, thinking, who's this coming? I'll see if I can show you actually, without upsetting the frog. And then I'm going to show you. So the little shed that I put up a few months ago, I can't use it now because wasps are building a nest in there. And if it was bees, I might still just respectfully use it. But wasps can be a little bit unpredictable, can't they? And they seemed to get a bit angry when I went in there the other day. Anyway, I'll show you. Can you see? Because he got scared, he's just sitting on the edge there. He got out of the pool, ready to run away. But yeah, look, let me come back a bit. That is so small, but they're still using it. Let's have a look in this shed. I feel like I'm taking my life in my hands when I open this door. Let's see. Okay, no one's come swarming out. So let's have a look. Can you see that? Oh, there's another one coming in. I think it's confused because there's a massive opening now rather than a little crack to get in. So it feels disoriented. I'm going to get out. Better leave them to it, isn't it? Just in case. Okay, so now I've got to sort out this tattered weed membrane. And then I've got to figure out what I'm going to do with those. And then there's quite a lot of rubbish in amongst the long grass that I need to sort out. So I'm going to get on with that. I just want to have a look in this bag here because there looks like there's interesting stuff in there. I haven't looked in it yet since I chucked it out here. see there's a lot of these. Does anyone know what these are? They look interesting. So, you know, there's a screw end, long bit, and then you see there's a gap in that. So then, you know, it would be useful for, I'm guessing you put string on it. And I've got no clue what it would be used for. I mean, if the polytunnel had wood in it, I would screw that somewhere and then use that to hold wire or string for climbing plants and whatnot. But yeah, I don't know. Anyone? Ideas, please. I'm going to sort all of this stuff out, or try to sort all of this stuff out, and then I'm going to come back to you when I'm done, because basically you're going to help to keep me accountable, because I really want to go inside, have a cup of tea and read a book rather than do this. But this needs doing. So if I have to come back to you in an hour and show you what I've done, I know I'll do it. I mean, it's true that I could just edit this bit out, but no. Okay, see you later. Let me show you something in the polytunnel now. Okay, so the polytunnel does look a bit of a mess. It's because of the weeding. It's just impossible to keep on top of, because obviously, you know, it was all disturbed soil that hadn't, and this area hadn't really been looked after for years. I don't think the guy who was here before really did much maintenance to it in terms of trying to keep it weed free, so that it was, all the weeds weren't seeding, you know. So yeah, there's just loads and loads. It's blankets in areas, you know. So anyway, the reason what I wanted to show you in here is these beans. So I put some French beans in, and they're supposed to be a bush variety. But you tell me if you think this is bush. Hang on. Okay, look at these. We start here and it goes all the way along to the end there. Well, where you can see the double row end. And then let me show you a bit closer. Look, can you see how that's extending up there? Look at that one. Can you see? They're really long. Do bush varieties do that? I don't think they're supposed to reach for the sky like that. So I'm really annoyed by that, because obviously I spaced these plants thinking they were a bush variety. If I'd known they were climbing, I would have put them all together like I did with the runner beans over there, you know. So my options are to either dig them all up and plant them closer together, but I don't want to do that. If they were like a perennial crop, then I would. But for an annual, you know, you're setting them back too far if you do that. So I'm just going to have to put some sort of climbing infrastructure all along here. It's so annoying. You know what? I've just realised bringing you in here was a way of getting out of finishing that job out there. Oh, I better go outside. Okay, I finished, sort of. So there are 3 black bags there. I need to take those around to the front, full of rubbish, and then I need to figure out where to put this chair. That needs to go somewhere, and then I'll show you the cheat I did. I piled all that wood up here instead of finding a place to put it. I think I'm going to go inside and have a cup of tea now, because I do think I deserve a rest now. But let me just talk to you for 1 minute about the wasp nest again. So, do you know what I find absolutely fascinating about that? They build 2 chambers, an inner chamber and an outer chamber. Now, there could be more for all I know, but I've seen 2. So the first time I saw the nest, it was because I saw a wasp once or twice going in and out, and I thought, I wonder if they're building a nest in there. So that's why I checked. So there was an inner sphere, and then there was an outer one kind of over it like that. And that was only half built, and it's fully built. It goes all the way down to the bottom now. But yeah, it's just such a thing of beauty. Like, it's phenomenal that they make those, you know. Anyway, I'm going to turn the camera around a second just so you can see the extent of the weed carpet in here, and then I'm going to go inside. Okay, can you see that? So there are still tomato plants down the middle here, but this, I don't know what weed that is, but well, what plant that is. But there's a lot of chard in there. There's a lot of some sort of brassica in there, which I've been picking. It's been amazing. I've been getting loads of leaves from here for salad, baby leaves. And then I've popped beetroot in there. And then on this side, hang on. This side looks a lot better because I weeded it and I've been trying to keep it weeded. So these are those French beans that were supposed to be the bush variety, and those are the runner beans over there. So I think I'm going to have to pop some sort of structures in here for these to climb up and totally waste that space. Anyway, I'm going to go inside now. It started raining. It's only very gentle patter. Yeah, inside, cup of tea, sit down for a bit, and then decide what I want to do next. I've just been planting up some Bistol that I dug up out of the lawn in one corner of the back garden. So it's this beautiful plant that's got these gorgeous pale pink, almost lilac-y flower spikes. And I just love it. And I saw some leaves growing in the lawn and I thought, I'm sure that's the same thing. Compared the leaves, and it was. So I've dug them up and I've popped them into pots. And yeah, I'm hoping to plant these in the back field and other places because it can take shade. The two places where it's planted here, it's in shade and it's flowering lovely. So yeah, I'm really happy about that. It's also edible. So the tuberous roots, I think those are edible. I'm not sure about the leaves. I'd have to look it up. So yeah. I tell you what though, I'm a little bit worried about the cat. So I haven't seen her since last night. I let her out last night and I didn't let her back in because, well, I mean, I didn't check to see if she wanted to come back in before I went to bed because she's been really getting on my nerves at night. She wakes me up a lot. And then she wants me to feed her in the middle of the night, or she wants to go out in the middle of the night or whatever. And I can't take the disturbance to the sleep. Or then she comes and she starts licking my face and then she'll sit kind of, she likes this gap here. So when I'm asleep, she'll come and she'll scooch in here and she'll start purring really loud and then lick my face every so often, which is really lovely. But, she licks up. I've seen her lick poo off of her bum with that tongue and she's licking me. Anyway, so yeah, she didn't come back today. Now, when we first moved in, so if you've not seen Poppy in a previous video, she's like a semi-feral cat that was left here by the previous owner. So they got her from the Cats Protection League and she was living as an outdoor cat. So she was essentially wild feral. But since we've moved in, she's learnt to trust us and she can, well, she's almost like a pet cat now. She can still be a bit skittish and she's still very nervous of people that she doesn't know, i.e. not me and my husband. And so before, when we first moved in, if we didn't see her for a day, it wasn't a big deal. She would always come for her meals. They used to feed her twice a day. So she'd come for her meals, but sometimes you wouldn't see her for a day and you wouldn't think anything of it. And one time she was lost for 3 days, or she didn't come back for 3 days. And then I was really worried. I was walking in the fields looking for her, thinking, she might be impaled on some barbed wire somewhere because, this place has a lot of barbed wire. I'm slowly removing it, but some of it, it can't be removed because of the... Anyway. But yes, since we've become good friends, she's not disappeared like this. So I am worried. I think actually before I go back inside, because yeah, I mean, did I say the time? It's 5 o'clock. It's nearly 6 o'clock in the evening now. So she's been gone all day. She hasn't come for her breakfast. She normally comes for breakfast and now she's got a habit of coming for lunch as well and asking for lunch. And then she wants like dinner and then she wants a late dinner. Anyway, yeah, so she's not come back. I think I might go and have a quick walk on the road just in case. The thing is, she's a really, really street smart cat, because I've seen her sometimes if we go on walks, as soon as she hears a car, she gets off the road and goes up the embankment and into the field, either our fields or someone else's field. She won't stay on the road if she hears a car. So I think the chances of her getting run over are very, very slim. I think non-existent, unless there was an electric car that came along, because they're really quiet. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to have a quick walk outside, see if I can find her, and then I think I'll catch you tomorrow. Thankfully, she turned up later that evening, so I was quite relieved. I did discover a few wounds on her head when I stroked her though, so I don't know what she got up to.